Let me ask you something. The Bible you read today, who decided what goes inside it? And more importantly, who decided what stays out? Because not every early Christian text made it into the Bible.
In fact, many were left out. So who made that decision, and why? Let's go back in time.
Not to modern churches, but to the early centuries of Christianity, a time when there was no single Bible.
No official list of books. Different communities had different texts. Some read the Gospel of Matthew.
Some spoke of the Gospel of Thomas, others followed letters of Paul, and others, different teachings still. There was no fixed canon. Now imagine this. You are a believer in the 2nd century.
You gather with your community. You read scriptures. But the scriptures you read might be completely different.
From another community in another city. Now here is where things get interesting. As Christianity spread, leaders began to ask a serious question. Which books are truly authentic? Which ones represent the true message? And which ones should be rejected? Because not all texts agreed with each other.
Some texts had very different ideas about Jesus, different teachings, different interpretations, and this created a problem.
Too many voices, too many beliefs. So decisions had to be made. Now this process did not happen overnight.
It took centuries. Gradually, church leaders began to recognize certain books as authoritative.
The 4 Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, became widely accepted. Letters attributed to Paul also gained strong influence. But other texts were rejected. Texts like the Gospel of Thomas,
the Gospel of Peter, and many others. Now ask yourself this: why these books and not others?
The answer is not as simple as many think. Several factors played a role. Some books were accepted because they were widely used. Some because they were believed to be connected to apostles. Others because they aligned with emerging theology. And some were rejected because they did not.
Now here is something important. There was no single moment when the Bible suddenly appeared as we know it today.
It was a process, debated, discussed, refined over time. One important stage came in the 4th century,
when church councils began to formalize the list of books. But even then, there were differences.
Not all Christian groups agreed immediately. Even today, different denominations have slightly different canons. Now think about that. The Bible, as we know it today, was shaped over time by decisions, by debates, by human involvement. Now here is the key question. Does this mean the message changed?
Or does it mean the message was preserved through careful selection? People answer this differently.
But one thing is clear. The formation of the Bible was not a simple process. It was complex, historical, and deeply debated. Now let's look at it from another perspective. In Islam,
the Quran was preserved as a single text, recited, memorized, written down, with a clear and unified transmission.
No multiple versions, no competing gospels. This creates a different kind of clarity. Now again, this is not about attacking beliefs. It is about understanding history. Because knowing how a book is formed helps us understand how belief is shaped. So I leave you with this. If different books existed,
and some were included while others were excluded, who decided? And why those choices?
Do you agree with this point? Like if yes, comment if you disagree. And if you enjoy deep, thought-provoking discussions like this, subscribe to Theology Unveiled. Because sometimes, what is left out of history
is just as important as what remains.